Welcome to Underwire Podcast. If you're new, I'm Dominique, and if you are back, thank you. Please subscribe if you are on YouTube, like and share the videos. So today I have a longtime friend with me, and you guys are in for a treat because I'm super excited. Elisa Allen, welcome, Elisa.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here.
This is going to be fun. We might have to do I might have to split up the video into two segments because we have a lot, and once we get talking. Yeah. So let me tell you about Elisa. She is, I'm telling you what, this girl, Elisa, your hustle is like none I've ever seen before. And I will take this opportunity to tell you that I'm not only honored to call you friend, but I'm honored to watch your journey because I just think you're amazing. I do. Okay. So Elisa, we're going to, I'm making her cry already. Yes. And she's not a crier.
I'm not a crier.
Okay. So Elisa's road is from recovery from addiction to athlete. I love saying from addiction to athlete because she's overcome a lot in her life. And now she is not only the wellness director at a local YMCA, she also has an amazing online coaching and training business called E360 Fit. And are you ready for this? Because I hope everybody's sitting down because I'm going to go through her credentials.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. So she's a certified personal trainer, a metabolic effect group exercise instructor, an indoor cycle instructor, as well as urban kick. And I used to love her urban kick classes. They were so fun. Healthy Heart Ambassador, a Live Strong at the YMCA instructor and trainer. And Elisa, Live Strong, for people that don't know this, is for cancer patients, correct?
Yes,
okay.
Cancer survivors.
Survivors, okay. Silver Sneakers instructor, which is for our older population. She's a weight management specialist, and she has CPR and a bunch of other first aid things.
Yeah.
But the ones most recently and has really taken her, I would say, career to the next level and that she's probably most proud of is that she is a female hormone specialist, which you know my story and I'll share it. I just firmly believe all middle-aged women need that. She's a metabolism specialist. Girl, she's a functional nutrition and metabolism specialist, as well as a Moderation 365 nutrition consultant. And we're going to talk a lot about that program because that's kind of the one that you feel took you to the next level. Would that be fair to say?
100%.
Okay, so this is podcast number 7. You're number 7, Elisa.
Look at number 7.
Okay, so I'm just going to check everything here. And everybody, in case you're wondering, I'm always looking at my video, my audio. Okay, so Elisa, thanks for doing this.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
We're going to start out. We're going to start out with personal stuff.
Cool.
Let's start out with something fun, though.
Okay.
Before we get into
Okay.
Tell everybody about how awesome your daughter is. I love her.
Okay. My little girl, this is her first year of competitive dance. And she is lucky enough to dance in a studio where this child thinks she's going to be on Broadway. This is it for her. This is, Mom, this is it for me. Everything has turned into dance. There is dancing in the front yard, the backyard. There's dancing in the kitchen. There is dancing with dogs, without dogs. There is.
Oh, yeah. You have 10 dogs.
8
no,
million
I'm kidding.
dogs. We have 3.
And they're massive.
They're massive.
They're
massive dogs.
They weigh what?
Right. Well, the baby, the littlest one, I think he is 70 pounds. So he's the baby.
He's the baby.
The baby.
Okay.
Yes. But
so Parker, your daughter, is in what grade?
Parker is going into 5th grade.
Okay, and she's 10.
She is,
and she's going to be the next Broadway star.
She is
Black Swan.
Missy,
Here we go.
Yes, Black Swan, Missy Copeland, you name it. That's her. There are signs in
Missy
her
Copeland.
room.
Yeah, she's amazing.
No, save your tears for the pillow. She's got Fred Astaire quotes up.
I love her.
Girl is determined.
So the funniest thing is you're online a lot, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And I just told you this, how you said, in case everyone doesn't know, I am the unpaid personal assistant to my daughter.
I am.
And I am a previous dance mom. And when you just explained your competitions and the dance recital and the backstage antics that go on.
Antics.
I was reliving all of it. And anybody out there that has anybody in dance, they get it. They get it. It's fun, but it's
she
stressful as all get out, right?
She did not have a great dress rehearsal, and we're driving in the car home, and I said, it's going to be better tomorrow. And she's like, And another thing, Mom, I had 0 snacks today. You packed nothing for
Chop,
me.
chop, mummies.
Wises, here we come. Yep, we need drinks.
Mumsies.
We need that. Yep. I had to eat Olivia's snacks, so we have to get that large bag of Sour Patch Kids. I'm also going to need some carbohydrates, Mom, and I'm going to need the Cheez-Its, and it's just garbage. And then she'll throw in a Fairlife just to
appease you.
To appease me.
Yes.
I love a Fairlife.
I love it. But
Yes.
I think
Yes.
from knowing you
Yes.
as a friend, and
Yes.
I didn't meet you until you were in your position at the YMCA, but
Right.
just knowing your backstory.
Yeah.
I think that you are an amazing mom, and I'm not going to psychoanalyze you, but probably, I do that a lot, but
Go ahead.
probably a lot of it has to do with the way you grew up. So
100%.
why don't you just touch upon that a little bit? Because what I want people listening to understand
Yes.
is that, some people have it rougher than others growing up. Of course, we're not trying to compare anybody's story, but I want you to be a story of hope that you can have a lot of things thrown at you in life and still come out.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have a parent around doesn't mean you have to continue that cycle.
No.
And you can definitely come out on top in your career
Right.
too. So tell us a little bit about
Okay.
your childhood.
So I grew up, and it seemed pretty normal at first. My dad worked a lot. My mom worked. She and I were never, I don't remember having like closeness with her. I remember being little, very little once, maybe 3, and having an earache. What she did do was she provided me with an amazing babysitter. This woman in this other town, probably about 17 minutes from our house, she would babysit us on every day off of school, on everything. And
Because your mom was working?
always.
Okay.
Yes, she worked for the phone company, and this woman, I felt like I felt so much nurturing from this woman. Like, what do you want? Dippy eggs? Okay, you kids were doing ceramics. Here's your Easter ceramics. Here's this. Here's that. She loved us so much. And then I had my brother. My brother's 2 years older than me, and he's amazing. He's you'll hear a lot about him today. And then, like I said, my mom was there. And then one day she came home and she said, she was very, it was just a very sudden thing always. Your father and I are splitting up. Okay. And I'm like 5.
Oh my gosh.
Right. 5. So I was like, okay. And she's like, so dad won't live here anymore. That's in effect very soon, probably next week. You children will go there on Wednesdays and you'll go there on weekends.
Like very matter of fact.
That's it.
Very cold.
No conversation. He was already gone.
And you're trying to process this as a 5-year-old.
His stuff wasn't even there anymore.
Oh.
Like when she talked to us. So it must have, you know what I mean? They both,
Right.
as I'm an adult now, like, well, what'd you guys do? Take a half day?
Yeah.
I mean, what? Okay, like where? Is that all he had?
How
Like,
this happened when I wasn't here.
the man's got one suitcase. Anyway, so dad was gone. And then that went on for a few months. And she was what I thought she was a woman who would like, I guess from the outside, she looked like somebody that would be cute and fun and charming. And she was a heavy drinker. And she was sad.
Oh.
And she sang and she listened to like I will hear songs and I'm like, call my brother and be like, do you remember Mom flipping out to the song Gloria by Laura Branigan? He goes, sounds about right. I go, okay. Like I'll hear a song.
Yeah,
that happened
it'll
like 2
trigger your
years ago.
memory.
And I was like, oh, this is the day she lost her ring. Immediately put it on my playlist because I got to process through it.
Right.
And then for about 6 months, men at our house, she met this guy. Everybody was uncle too. That
so she would bring in different quote unquote
This is Uncle
boyfriends,
David.
and she'd call him uncle.
Okay, so one particular boyfriend who was also going through a miserable divorce, his children had no toys, so she gave all our toys to him. We had nothing. Nothing.
No.
She took them all.
Oh
She
my
took them
gosh,
all.
Elisa.
She took them all. And and my brother is so great. He's like, Lise, don't worry about it. We'll say something to dad. Dad will get us toys. We'll keep him somewhere safe. And it's, and I was angry. And
Sure.
I was never close to her, so I was very defiant with her. So I was like, how dare you don't you ever enter our room. I'm just like this little pipsqueak, and go to your room. Don't
Right.
It's this whole
Well,
thing.
you had no respect for her.
None. Never.
Especially when you're bringing in
Her actions
different
made me,
men all the time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
her actions just made me grow up so fast. I didn't even know when I was little. I didn't know what was going on. And then, that same year, everything she did fell apart. Every relationship. Like I said, I remember her losing her mind to that song because she couldn't find her diamond ring. And I just remember seeing her, like she had a skylark, like gripping her wheel.
My gosh.
And it must have been like her hype song. So trying to get herself hyped up, and she's like, wiping away tears, and I'm just like, are we going to school?
Hello. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a little kid back here. I have needs.
I have to get to Mrs. Byam's class. I'm AM kindergarten. Let's go.
Gosh.
And I just,
see how that formed you and molded you? I just got
It's crazy.
that. That's why you're so like
crazy,
take charge.
crazy. Then she comes home one day and she's like, okay, I'm transferring kids. She worked at Bell Telephone. It was a northern company. I'm transferring to Bell South. I'm moving to Florida. I do not have enough money for a place that can have children. I'm moving into this singles complex. It's called Century 21. And you will be living with your father.
And you were how old at this point?
5.
Still 5. This all happened within a year.
And I just looked at Carlos and I said, get your bike.
Get your bike. We're out of here.
We're leaving. We rode our little bikes over to our dad's apartment, which was, just it's like wherever my dad found a place, obviously, that day.
Right.
And it was okay. It was all right. It wasn't anything fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, she's leaving. She's going to Florida. And he's like, okay. My dad is an immigrant from Guatemala. What you mean she's leaving? You know what I mean? And we're like, yeah, she's moving. And he's like, where are you going to go? I'm like,
oh, she didn't even discuss this with him.
She's not taking us. And he's like, then you come here. That's it. And so he was like a single dad before that was a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Before that was even, he had no idea what he was doing. None.
I don't know if this plays a factor into anything, but what was your mom's background like? Did you know her parents?
Yes.
Okay. And were they the same way she was, or were they loving? They made up for
my
her?
Nana, when my mom left, it was a day. Like it was one of the hardest things for me to forgive her was that day. Not because she left us, but because of how my brother reacted in the street. Like he stood there.
Is it like a movie scene where he's like running after the car crying?
He just stood there and cried. He loved her so much. And he just stood in the street and it was like inconsolable crying.
I can't take it.
I know. And my dad's like this little like type 2 celebrity. And he's like, we're going to go get ices. We're going to go to Hills. He's naming all the things we're going to do.
A pair of Levi's and an ice cream cone.
Right. I'm in the back and I'm just like, and I'm just watching and I am like, I can just feel anger. Like I remember feeling angry and I never forgave her. I don't think I've still forgiven her for that one.
Even with all your faith?
I want to forgive her. I don't bring it up to her.
That's a hard one.
But I do, like she'll throw a text here and there, and every once in a while I'll throw a dig. Like at Christmas time, he said to me, my mom's sister is a wonderful woman. My grandmother was a wonderful woman. And when my mom left that day, my Nana said to her, I will never forget this. And she left my mother nothing. Nothing. And it said, and you know why.
So
that's all it said. And you know why.
To her mother, to your grandmother.
When my grandmother died, it was in the will.
Oh.
Everything of mine you already have, and you know why.
Wow.
And my Aunt Candy got everything. And my mom was standing there like screaming.
No.
Oh, it was
well, did your
dramatic.
aunt and grandmother help to raise you then?
Absolutely. My grandmother did everything.
Okay, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
My first question is, how long until you saw your mom again after that?
We had to go down in the summer, but it was, I don't think I went down till second grade summer.
Okay. And then did you go down every summer afterwards?
For a while till we could
and how
actually.
was that?
Horrible.
You didn't even want to be there, did you?
No. We stayed in this apartment complex.
Your dad just needed a break and wanted you to have a relationship with your
custody.
mom? Or
It
was a custody agreement.
And he and my dad was so good. Like all these things that I never knew. Like she gave him nothing. She paid him, I think, $40 a month for us.
Oh my
For
gosh.
us both. And he sent her cards for everything from us.
Oh,
He
did
did.
he?
We did not. He did.
Did she ever find that out? That it was him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So as an adult, fast forward to your adulthood, do you
Yes.
have a relationship with her?
Every once in a while, she sends a text.
Huh. Is she still in Florida?
She is alive and well.
And how often do you see her as an adult, like in person?
I saw her when Parker turned 1. I invited her to her birthday party.
And she came?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't even want to know how that went down.
It didn't. She was a disaster.
Oh.
And she stole I had this like junky car. Nate had a nicer car. We didn't have anything going on back then. And she took my junky car. She just took it.
She just took it.
She left the party. She took the car.
You're kidding.
No, she went downtown to a place where she used to drink and feel important. And that's
So
what
she
she
has-
did.
so
and then
she
she went
has-
to my aunt's.
She has still drank all this time? She's never...
100%.
What about drugs? Did she ever do drugs?
No,
So she is an alcoholic
100%.
and she has never tried to get better.
No.
And how does she, like, not to talk about somebody that's not here, but I'm just curious,
Mm-hmm.
how does one even support themselves if they move that far away? They're an alcoholic. Does she
She's
still
retired.
work?
She worked at Bell South.
So she held down a job as an alcoholic.
Absolutely.
So is that a thing, a functioning alcoholic?
It's
I've heard that term.
It is and it's not. You can do, in my heaviest drinking, I did not miss work.
Wow.
But the thing is,
You must have solid DNA. Like,
yeah,
I have a couple glasses of wine, I'm done for the next
you do
day.
not miss work. You work
Right.
is money.
Right.
Like that's and I would bartend sober.
Right.
But then when I left, nighty night.
Yes. Wow.
Bye.
Okay, so
Yeah.
your dad is wonderful.
Wonderful.
Okay, and you still have a wonderful relationship with him.
He lives with
obviously.
me.
And he lives with you. I love that.
Nightmare.
And he
Never going to be away from each other. It's so insane.
But how great is that? Because I don't know, a lot of people don't realize this. In the United States, we're one of the very few countries where there aren't multi-generations living under one roof. It's actually, people don't do it so much because they have to. And a lot of other countries, they do it because it's a thing.
Oh, like if
if
you're Latina, that's duty. That's not.
Not only duty, but like it's such, and I know
It's an honor.
And I know it's hard on the person in the middle, which is us. But
Me.
for the grandparents and
Yeah.
your children, that's such an amazing bond.
I cannot.
She'll never
express
forget it.
Whatever failings he may have had as a father for me and my brother, he does not with my daughter.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Screwed up with you, but I'm going to make up for it
100%.
here. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, my parents do the same thing. It's
100%.
funny.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
No.
But now let's talk about how you processed what
Okay.
happened to you. So
Okay.
when did you start using drugs, and did you start using alcohol first?
Alcohol first.
So that really was a gateway drug.
All the
for
same.
you.
It was all the same day. It was 8th grade.
Oh my
It's all
gosh.
the same day. And it was so cool. My brother, my brother is an alcoholic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he has been sober. I don't even know, like 28 years. He got sober in his 20s.
Wow.
He's 3 years older than me, so
That's-
2 years older than me.
That's
Sorry.
great. That's great.
Yeah. So he grew up so quickly, and I will say this: my brother was a forgotten child. He was dismissed. He was dismissed by both of them. They failed him, and everything he ever did, he did on his own. But he grew up very fast, and he grew up very young. And
Did he feel like he had to take care of you? Is that why? Or help take care of you?
he always took care of me. I don't know what his feelings were in the height of his addiction. And I would come and I would say to him, just don't drive. I'll drive you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we're driving to Baltimore. Oh, okay.
Why?
His son.
Oh,
He had a son.
Okay.
He was sent to Job Corps. He got kicked out of high school and was sent to Job Corps.
Okay.
And he got a girl pregnant there. And he came back here. And he lost his license. And I will tell you that my brother rode his bike to this job. He got a job as an electrician at like 16 years old and rode a bike there before the sun was up.
And that's a hard job to learn.
And he is.
Yeah.
His business,
does he still do it?
He owns a business, so your business doesn't have downtime. He is big. Like, he works for a lot of big guys. Like, and he is all self-made. No one did it.
Oh, my
He had nothing.
God.
He didn't even, I mean, they didn't even.
Well, he has to have half a brain because, like I said, you got to know what you're
intelligent.
doing. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
to
honest
be an
to God.
electrician.
Yes, 100%. The only person in my entire life I 100% trust.
Aww.
And it has never hurt me. Never.
Aww.
Never.
That makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, side note, not that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
But you know how we go off on tangents.
Yeah, well, of course.
I always say if I had boys, and even maybe girls, go for a trade.
Oh,
Electrician,
that's what
that
I
whole
want.
thing. Yes. Anyway,
what I
that's
want.
just a little
Yes,
side
we
note
agree on
because
that.
you
We agree on that.
you cannot like ship that off to another country.
That's one of our
No.
questions.
Yeah. So okay, so your brother was awesome. He
Yeah.
kind of pitched in and
Yeah.
helped out your dad, and
100%.
then so did your aunt and your grandmother.
Yes.
But before we move on to your addiction, I do
Yeah.
have a question about your mom.
Yeah.
And obviously we're not psychiatrists or psychologists, but I play one on TV now.
Me too.
But I'm curious. Your mom almost sounds like she was manic. What do you, looking back, what do you think besides the alcoholism? Did she have some sort of bipolar or something going on?
She was, I will tell you what happened to my mom. My mom was an ugly duckling in school, and image was everything to my mom.
Okay.
And she had a very big nose. My dad thought it was gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
She did not. She always felt like an ugly
So she was
duckling.
very insecure.
Very.
Okay.
My Aunt Candy is vivacious, and everybody loved her, and she always
Yeah.
had dates, and she just, her laugh is incredible, and her smile can launch ships. And
Yes.
my mom was an ugly duckling, and she got a nose job.
Oh, okay.
When my dad started making money, that was the first purchase, was her new nose.
Okay.
And everything changed.
Oh, no.
We don't even have baby pictures. She cut herself out of them. We don't have them. She cut her face out.
That type of insecurity is very deep.
It was deep.
That is deep when you're cutting yourself out of pictures. Which
There are no pictures of her old nose. Except the ones
my heart does go out to people that do feel that way because we do live in a society that is constantly comparing, and not that makes it right what she did to you, of course, but I can have some empathy for that.
We do.
But then she took that money instead of spending it on her children and gets a nose job. Right. And then she probably started getting a lot of attention from men,
yes.
I would assume.
And then she
was like,
running.
sayonara to your dad.
Yes.
Who loved her when she was just her.
Please.
Oh, that
I think he still does.
Cry. Oh.
He's sick.
Which proves love isn't about looks.
No.
It has nothing to do with looks.
And he did. And he, and he just... Yeah. And it, honest to God, like that nose, that's my... If it wasn't for that nose, I'd be like, oh, Lord.
Did she ever end up getting married again?
Oh, yeah.
How many times?
This is the third.
Oh, okay.
Second was amazing. I had a great childhood for a while because I had an amazing stepdad.
Well, the nose job didn't fix her insecurities.
No.
Obviously.
No.
So you don't think there's any mental health issues there? There had to have been a little bit. I mean, her sister,
I'll tell you what I think it is.
Her sister and her mom weren't like that.
I don't think my mom has mothering in her. I think that's what it is.
Some people don't.
She's not a mother.
Some people just don't.
I think my mother is a good friend.
Yes.
I think my mother, she's like, she would do anything for her church. She always used to cry when they did right before communion. She cried and I never understood why. And I think it's because she's so sad about who she is and what.
Did she ever get therapy or help or anything?
No, but we've had more than anybody, me and Carlos.
Well, yeah.
I mean, my dad had us in therapy.
You probably have a frequent flyer card.
Oh my gosh. We have been in so many therapy sessions. Like, I remember one time coming home in 8th grade and I had baggy pants on because that was the style.
Right.
And he's like, oh my God. Do you feel like you were sexually abused somewhere? Did something happen?
Oh.
Why are you wearing baggy clothes?
Oh,
I
your
saw
dad?
it on Oprah. Yeah, he
I
saw
saw
this
it
whole
on
thing.
Oprah.
Right, and here I am back on Carol's couch. There
Well,
I am.
God bless him for being cognizant of that, though, and not letting you guys just suffer in silence.
Oh
Although
my gosh,
I know,
we've
Elisa,
had so much
I know,
therapy.
and when you look at therapists, man, there are some great ones and there are some
Please.
awful ones.
Duds.
Did you ever have any good ones? Hopefully, please. I hope.
Here's what I think. I think that they tried as best they could.
Yes.
I don't think they understood what was going on either. I don't think my dad would ever come out and say my mom was an alcoholic. He still doesn't.
Oh man.
Nobody knew. She looked.
And sometimes if you have
perfect.
insurance or you're living off the state or whatever, you're not going to get good therapists. I don't care what you say.
And we had great therapists, and we had some of the best in town. But I will say this: that there was a very known thing as little kids that we will look a certain way. We won't discuss what really goes on.
And don't you feel that's what has changed from that generation to ours?
100%.
Thank God.
100%.
Thank God. Okay.
Right.
So now that, all right, that was a big question of mine.
That was.
So 8th grade, Missy, 8th grade. And what do you mean it all started in one day?
All started in one day. Okay. So we stopped going to Florida, Carlos and I. I was in 8th, Carlos was in 10th.
Why did you guys just say
done.
to your dad, we're done?
Yeah, we're done. My brother even tried to move down there. She threw him out.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, because now Carlos is like almost an alcoholic now. Like he's just a
at
kid.
this point.
Oh yeah.
When did he start?
Oh my gosh. I bet he was 9.
Oh no.
He was a baby.
9.
Oh my gosh.
Where do you get alcohol as a 9-year-old? Your dad had it?
Your mom.
Your mom.
Your grandma.
Your mom.
You take it.
That's Sophia's famous line. She always says, your mom.
Your mom. No, but it just, he always seemed older. He was always with older kids.
Okay.
So if he was 9, he was with kids that were 13.
Gotcha.
If he was 13, he was with 20-year-olds.
Gotcha.
He had ID. He had facial hair. He looked old.
Wow.
We all, you know what I mean? I didn't, but he did. But this was hilarious. So one summer, the last summer we're in Florida, my dad and this kid, or my brother and this kid kept getting in trouble in school. Okay. So my dad ends up shacking up with this kid's mom.
Oh, gosh.
So we come home from Florida, instant family. There's 6 kids. We have this huge house, which was so great because we finally had a good house. I was always so embarrassed, like where we lived when my dad and mom got separated. And we had this huge house. It was gorgeous. And we had this instant family. And they're like, you get that room. And it was like the biggest room in the house. And it was a half apartment. And it was incredible. And there was absolutely no rules.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
No structure. There was nothing. I remember the boys, they were best friends. And I remember there being like 15 kids upstairs in the attic half the time. There would be a band practice up there. There was always partying going on. They were always like, and they were, they were teens. They were wild.
Yes. Wow. And is that what got
that was
you?
It.
That
so
was
one
it.
day,
So your brother's friends, they
one
were
day,
always partying. That's
the one came downstairs and he's like, come upstairs with us. And I was like,
and you're in 8th grade.
Oh, yeah, right. I was like, is my brother up there? And he's like, not right now.
Oh, no.
And I was like, okay. So we went up and I was with, I think I had a friend over too. And we went up there and they had Budweiser pony bottles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we were like, yep. And we just acted like we knew what we were doing. We had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
They were passing around a joint. We hit that and sayonara, sucker. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it for you.
That was it. And then I was just like, maybe here and there we'll drink. And then what would happen was as I grew up, I was a person who was very, like, I loved love. I wanted a boyfriend. I wanted this. I wanted that. So if I got with somebody, I didn't do anything. If I was out on my own devices, it was on it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't bad. And I never, I graduated from high school with honors. I got scholarships to LICO. I just, it wasn't a problem. College, there was partying. This fraternity has this drug. This fraternity has this. But
it was just a part of your culture at this point. You were just so used to it.
Yeah, but I wasn't a big, yes, on the weekends we'll get drunk. Yes, on Wednesdays we'll get drunk. Everybody at school does. It was college culture wasn't a problem. It didn't become a problem, I would say. The alcohol actually didn't become a problem until after the drugs.
Oh,
and I didn't try.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I didn't try cocaine until I was 21.
Okay.
And I just acted like I knew what I was doing.
Wow.
Right.
Who was the first person to introduce you to Coke?
I was a beer girl.
Okay.
You know, one of those girls.
Yes, I remember
and somebody
those.
At my first promotion said, do you want a line? And I didn't want to look like a square. So I was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And then I was just
You're like a walking TV movie.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
And then call somebody.
Yeah. And then I went with somebody else. And then we met like back then it was fun. Like it was fun. There was like the drug dealer was fun. I loved him. We still love each other. He's clean and sober too. We still love each other.
Oh my gosh.
Call him every year, every holiday, every
How
birthday.
are you people still alive?
I love him so much.
And
And I make sure I always tell him too. And I'm like, I just want you to know I love you so much. Okay, happy birthday.
Oh my
gosh. And I remained his friend my entire life. And there would be some nights that it would be great. And it would just be a couple bumps and you'd go out to the bar and you'd have a couple drinks and you'd go home and it would be no big deal. And then there'd be nights that
it wasn't so great.
It couldn't stop. And I would be like, yeah, but that's everybody. But cocaine wasn't bad. And then it started getting bad. Like I was spending more on allergy medicine than I was on cocaine. Like my entire nose was toast. Trash.
Why? I'm so naive when it comes to this stuff. What does allergy medicine do?
I
not that we want to help anybody.
I couldn't get anything up my nose. My nose was so inflamed.
Oh my gosh.
So swollen.
Right.
My back
Where were you
teeth
getting
were
this money?
You don't need money when you're young. Like old guys always have Coke.
Seriously.
Yeah. Hey.
God.
And then that's the other thing too. I learned really young how transactional you can be with men.
Oh, wow.
I never did anything I didn't want to do. And I never was like sexually assaulted and I never had to do, but you can flirt like it's going to go one way.
Sure.
And people
then get what you want
and
then pull back. Right.
Then,
right.
Bye.
Yeah.
You bring a whole bunch of girls and then see you later. And then, like I said, the guy who
you learn how to manipulate really quickly, don't you?
And the guy who sold me drugs wasn't a scumbag. He wasn't like that. He wasn't.
So
he wasn't a loser.
So let's take away that stigma.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point, and I'm glad that you said that.
I loved him.
All the parents out there that are listening right now, probably primarily moms, be careful. Don't judge a book by its cover.
No.
Because, you think, oh, I have a friend right now.
Yeah.
Her daughter is dating a boy.
Yeah.
That looked kind of sketchy, and she stopped herself. She's like, I'm judging him on how he looks, when I know, gosh darn well, it could be the preppy kid walking in with the rich dad that's probably buying more drugs than, so let's stop judging.
Yeah, like we got high
by
with
looking at somebody.
We got high with lawyers and doctors and my counselor's husband.
Oh my gosh.
And, people that owned restaurants, like it wasn't scumbags. That's what I mean. It was cool. It was exciting. And like I said, then it wasn't bad either. It didn't get bad until my nose got bad.
Oh my gosh.
And I could no longer. And then, like I said,
wait a minute. I have a question.
Yeah.
How did you always hold down a job or school or stay in college? How is that possible when you're getting that messed up and out of it? Like, how often a week were you coked up or drinking or?
Always on the weekends.
Just on the weekend.
And then like one work night. And then somebody.
But why didn't you crave it on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday?
I don't understand. Soon. And you know what you got to do.
Oh
like cocaine, it's not like heroin. Like it's not like how it is these days. Heroin is a physical addiction. Cocaine, you're sad, you want more, then you're gonna fall asleep, and the next day you feel so guilty you want to just shoot yourself, and that's the wrap.
Okay.
And then by Thursday night you're okay again.
But we still want everybody to know it's not a good idea to do coke because it still ruined your life in so many other ways. Okay,
but I will say, like, that was a really, like, that lifestyle to me was amazing. Everybody was great. The paraphernalia was great.
Well, everybody was on it. Everybody
always had it.
They're like up here all the time.
Oh my gosh, we would go with we've been to in the box at the Sixers games.
Yeah.
We've been like incredible places.
Wait, you're making it sound too good.
No, because then it goes bad.
Okay. Please stay tuned for the bad parts because we don't want anybody thinking it sounds so good. But I think what your point is to a young girl.
Absolutely.
Whose mom left her. Had a pretty messed up childhood.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the life.
It was amazing.
That was where you were getting your love. because you
100%.
weren't getting it where you were supposed to get it, which was from your home environment and your parents. Is that safe to say?
And what I'm saying is, when I tell you I love him, he's my family. Like that's my
Your
family.
ex-drug dealer.
People I used with are my family.
And as funny as
that's my family.
I think that is.
It's true.
I know it is, and I don't mean to chuckle at it, but that, as funny as that is to say, it makes me sad.
It's very
because
sad.
you should have been getting your love from your parents.
I would never go around my dad high. That's why I would never ever.
Well,
Never
because
ever.
you had respect for him, right?
Oh my gosh,
right?
How could he ever find out?
Yeah,
and then he found out.
And don't you think it was the pain of what happened to you, and then the instability of your life that even caused you to go down this road, and being around it with your brother?
It was. I don't want to say it was all the time either. I was married very young. And that person was the love of my life. He was my soulmate. Our marriage it got bad.
Erratic at best, yes.
Yeah. And it is something that I have never recovered from. I will never give that love to another human being again on that level. And
it was kind of a crazy level. It was kind of an obsession level.
Absolutely.
It definitely was not a healthy love.
It is what it, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that when I would say things, when that was done and I was just out here in this world by myself, things would, that's when all that partying occurred. And that was, 27.
How old were you when you got married the first time? 21.
Mm-hmm.
Were you still in college?
Yes.
And was he partying with you at your college parties? Your
college, I wasn't bad. College was experimental here and there. Yeah, this one has.
It wasn't until after you two divorced.
He and I
that you really started getting heavy.
Toggled a little bit, he and I, but he was one. He never missed work. Yeah, he'd stay up all night and go to work.
Yeah,
we had dreams. You know what I mean? Like he said that we're getting that house. We're getting that house. We always would look at this house. I'll get that. I promise I'll get that house. And then when he and I split up, I didn't care. And then it was like, hey, I'm here for the party. So
he drank when you met him? Was he a drinker?
Yes.
Did he use drugs?
Not like, just like college dudes do. Like
weed. So do you think that you bonded over your substance abuse use? No, that was never a bonding issue with you guys.
No, I never would drink around him. I would never get drunk around him.
Really?
No.
I find that super interesting.
I was not who I am now around him. I was a whole different person. I didn't speak. I didn't do anything. I did whatever he wanted. No. Whatever he wanted to do.
Okay, in retrospect, why? Why were you so submissive, do you think?
I never thought that a person like that would be with me.
So you had you sound just like your mother, Elisa.
Yeah, like I just thought he was better.
That insecurity.
Yeah, I thought he was better.
Oh, that makes me sad too. But I can't say anything because I was that way at that age too. I
always thought he was better. I thought like
too.
He was the catch. I can't believe this is going to be my life. I can't believe I'm going to be his wife. I can't believe these are all my friends and they all have to be nice to me now, because he was very big on people giving respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I never.
So let's say to moms listening, like if you have a daughter or if you know of anybody in your daughter's life, like her friends or your neighbors or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they might have come from a troubled home or had a rough childhood. Do you see what happens to young girls?
Yeah.
They are extremely insecure.
Mm-hmm.
And if they get any guy looking their way, any of them,
right?
Oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to do better than him. And you end up settling, and then you end up having a whole other host of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take this as a teaching moment for moms and any young girls listening. Like, please look out for that, because I still see that in a lot of young girls. Like, I see,
100%.
Can I tell you, and there's somebody in particular I'm thinking of, but I see some young girls that just, they have so much going for them.
Me too.
And they're settling for these boys that are just treating them like dirt.
Yeah.
And I wish they could see in them what I do, because they deserve so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's going to, I mean, it took me a long time to wake up. It took you a long time to
Takes
wake
a long
up.
time.
It does.
Yeah.
But my gosh, if as mothers we can avoid that with our own daughters.
Oh, yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, you guys separate, and then
Yes.
you're just like off
Horrible
the rails.
divorce.
Okay,
Worst divorce
keep,
I've ever.
keep
Worst
talking.
divorce.
I'm going to get you water.
Okay.
Worst divorce.
Horrible. I had nothing. He had a great lawyer. It was ugly, and it shouldn't have been because we had nothing, and we had nothing to fight about. It just got worse and worse and worse. And yeah, and then drugs became more prevalent. They were still, and this is when I thought it was fun because all these cool people were doing it, like doctors and lawyers, and
And you were seeking
Yeah,
acceptance
and,
from the outside.
right. And then I got this job I always wanted, and I thought this is how you did it. I thought that's how you were supposed to live. And then a couple more.
Isn't this how everybody lives?
A couple more bad relationships after husband. There was a very bad one, and that's when I would say that was the tipping point.
Was there any physical abuse?
Always.
Oh.
Always with everybody.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I've had more pictures taken by those like sex crimes cameras than anyone.
Did you ever report any of them? Or were you always too in love with them? I'm not going to turn them in.
I didn't report them, but some of them were so violent that other people saw them. One was like a boot stomping in the street. So people saw it and reported it. That was a bad one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But how do you mentally recover from that and emotionally recover from something like that?
I would always say, like, if I survived this, no one can touch me. This one was bad.
I know you do get tough.
Like, and I would tell people, like, oh, please, it's been a lot bigger than you. Go ahead. Like,
you know what I always say?
Please.
Honey, I look the devil in the eyes. There's nothing you can do to touch me.
I'm not
Right.
like, and I would swear on my, like at my lowest point, or like I would swear when I was sitting there, like looking a wreck, that I would never, ever be afraid of a man ever again. I will never look away. I will never let this happen again. I would never, never, never. And then here I am in another crappy relationship. And then this one was particularly bad. And it felt, at the end of it, I felt like such a failure. And he's the worst. Gosh. He is the worst person. Even when I got sober, I actually made an amends to him. And, he lost his mind. And I'm like, oh, well, you're mentally ill.
I mean, they have to have some sort of mental
literally
illness.
The worst person. I will say this too. I did make, my first husband and I made amends before he passed. And I will say that, like, my entire life, I've loved that human.
Right.
That just,
it's easy to love a soul or of a person, even though they have demons.
We talked, like, we would be together so much before he unfortunately passed. And that's just something that's something I always just kind of, I write that one down.
Yeah. I mean, aren't you glad you made amends before he passed?
100%.
Yeah.
And his family's my family. And I've never, and I will say this, I've never had family like I did then.
Yeah.
And to this day, it's uncle this.
Right.
Love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you. I miss you. I love you.
Aww.
Tell them all the time too.
Well,
then bad relationship, and then boom, the drugs really started.
But let's say a young girl is out there listening, or even a woman.
Yeah.
And she's in a domestic violence situation. Can you speak in retrospect or through your therapy, and can you speak to why, besides the insecurity and the unstable home life, of course, but what makes a woman just keep taking it?
Stay.
You know what I say? You're dating the same man in a different pair of pants. Here comes a different pair of pants, but he's the same guy.
Okay, so for me, I would say I wanted what I thought was a perfect life with any one of these jokers. Okay.
And they probably gave you the lip service. Oh, baby, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you that. We're going to do this.
We're going to do this. We're going to have this. We're going to have this. We're going to have this. And what would happen was, if you get with someone who is a sociopath, which is apparently what I attract, or a narcissist.
I was just going to say narcissist.
What they can do is, I can talk to you right now and I can tell you I'm 100% right. And they can beat you down enough that after 6 hours of incessant nonsense, you say to yourself, oh, now I see. Now I see. He is right. because you can't listen to this anymore. You can't listen to your failings anymore. You don't have any more tears to cry. You've been through you hate him. You've been through you love him. You've been through all of it. You've ugly cried. You've pretty cried. You've done everything. He's right. Because I am so sick and I can see how he got so twisted. This was my fault. It does make sense. You get gaslighted right into thinking it's your fault. The other thing is they threaten to take things from you that you love. I'll tell your work what a piece of crap you are. I will tell your dad how you're always doing cocaine. They will hurt you. You know, like they say about those guys that steal kids, and they say, you know, if you make a sound, I'll kill your sister.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. And you
how many men do you feel that you dated like that before?
Horrible men,
either sociopathic or narcissistic, or, you know, how many do you think you went through till you were like, okay?
Oh, I mean, like relationship wise. If I gave you my time and we were going to be in relationship, you were awful. I will say this.
So you didn't date anybody healthy.
The exception is my second husband. So after this guy I'm talking about now, the guy that got really bad on drugs with, my friend and I were just hanging out one weekend, partying and getting high.
Yeah.
And we just said, let's fly to Vegas. And we got all caught up in this thing. And we ended up getting married. We weren't even dating each other. I was dating this other kid. He was dating this lady. Like, we had to come home and explain ourselves. I will say this. We ended up trying to make it work. He is a nice guy. And he's a great guy. And I hope to God he's happy. He didn't deserve anything he got.
Mm.
And the kid that I married him behind his back, he was a nice guy.
Okay. But you had a string of unhealthy relationships.
If it was a relationship,
yeah, with men that had obvious mental illness issues. But when you were in the thick of all of that, and I'm trying to put myself in a position of if a young girl or even a woman that still is doing this is listening, when you're in the thick of that, you have to at some point wake up and say, I am dating the same narcissistic or sociopathic or whatever guy over and over and over in a different pair of pants because I have not done the internal work on myself.
It's
I have not figured out why I'm insecure.
No.
Why I have no self-confidence.
Right.
Why I'm so deeply, deeply wounded and hurt. And you need to get yourself in some serious therapy. And I know we're going to talk about this later. You need to get in some faith-based practice, whatever that is for you.
Yeah. And
because if you don't go to Jesus, I'm sorry.
Nope.
And I know that's for us. I know not everybody listening is Christian, but that's what helped you.
But that's what I would do. I would, the minute, and I would say to myself, I don't understand because everybody loves me. And like all these other people love me. And,
and why can't I get him to love me?
Like,
please love me.
I don't think anything's wrong with me. And then it'll throw me right back out into the streets. And they hear, hey, I'm back.
Looking for love. In
where
all the wrong places.
Where are we doing all this stuff? Who's got what? Let's do it.
Oh, my gosh. So your drug usage was how many years total? Did you ever calculate it?
When it got bad? Or
just in totality?
Yeah. Okay, so let's look. I did.
Good. Get your notes.
I totaled it for you. Okay. So
you had to write it down.
So like I said, I was experimenting when I was 14. And then I was finally done in 2010. And that, so that's 13 years. So, So from 14 to.
So. Yeah. You did alcohol?
Yeah.
Pot?
Yeah.
Coke?
Yes.
What else?
LSD. Mushrooms. If there was nothing around, pills, but I hated them. Crack cocaine. That's when it got bad.
Did you ever do heroin?
No, I did not do heroin.
I think that's the most wicked one.
I'll tell you what happened once, though. Somebody got me. I went over there to buy Coke, and they sold me heroin, and I took it was brown, and I'm like, that's weird. I took a half a snort, and I was like, oh my, I am an upper. I am not a downer. And then somebody did we called it a crack CPR like they found out that somebody accidentally gave me
Dear God.
the heroin. So they came running over to my house with a crack pipe and was like, I got you, E. I got you. I got you. And I remember like laying there, drooling
Elisa.
and him like fixing me. And I was like, oh, thank God for this crack.
Oh my God.
Saved me. But crack is when it went
Thank
whack.
God for crack.
Crack went whack.
Oh
That's
my
when it
God.
all, that's when I lost everything. That's when I got drug charges. I mean, I was arrested.
Okay, how many times have you been arrested? Was it just the once?
It was the once, and then we got the big when the cops did the big roundup. We got those Benchino charges.
Okay, all right. And did you ever do any time?
For violating probation, I did.
How long?
7 days as an indigent prisoner.
Okay.
Lovely time.
And then probation probably for a long time.
Probation,
right?
like I committed murder. I would say to the probation officer, I was like, I feel like this is a capital murder.
Oh, how
Like,
strict
you
they were
let
with
me
everything.
go. Yeah, because I did intermediate court. I did drug court.
Okay.
And I was
all right.
sober for a while.
That was my next question.
Yep.
So you're how old at this point when you go to your first rehab?
No rehab ever.
Oh, I thought the court ordered.
Nope. Drug court is mandatory AA, mandatory counseling, mandatory curfew, mandatory unless you have usually the heroin people get to go to rehab.
You got clean with no rehab?
I got clean with no rehab.
Okay, that's crazy. All right, so first time it was court ordered.
Yeah.
And what was involved?
Oh my God. It was okay. So we had drug court. So you had to wear a patch. And you had to go in so your PO could check your patch every Monday.
Does that give you the medicine that's supposed to
No medicine.
Oh.
So he could see if you're sweating out cocaine.
Oh, okay.
No medicine.
Okay.
No, because we weren't sick. We weren't on heroin or anything like that. So we don't get any of that that good stuff.
Okay.
we were like bad. We were crackheads.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
just to test you. Okay.
Yep. So you got your patch checked every week. You got your urine checked every week. It's nice. A lady goes in, watches you urinate. It's
That's
lovely.
Great. It's not demeaning at all, right?
Nope.
Okay.
90 meetings in 90 days. You have to take commitments in the meetings. You have to get a sponsor. You have to, you have 4 counseling sessions, 1 individual, 3 group a week. Your curfew is 8 p.m.
Okay. And this went on for how long?
Phase 1, that's phase 1, and then your curfew. Phase 2, by the way, you just get 1 counseling taken away and then 1 more hour added onto your curfew. This went on for, I believe it is officially, by the time you're all said and done, 14 months.
Okay.
And then he kept me on probation for 4,700 years.
Sounds like that Rent,
Right.
that song.
Yes.
Okay. So are you glad it happened?
Drug court?
Yes. Because isn't that how you got clean, or did you fall back after this?
Oh, drug court showed me how to get over. It showed me it was so long. It was so drawn out. I did it perfectly. But
Of course, you were a perfect student.
I gamed them. Once I started realizing I did everything they wanted me to do the right way for a very long time. And when I realized that PO wasn't going to let me off, I don't know. Like, I don't think he liked me. I don't think he still likes me. I feel like I waved to him at Wise's once and he was like totally pretending he didn't see me. But once I realized that this guy was never going to let me off probation, when I did everything right, and I mean everything, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke. Hey, check my lotion. Make sure that I didn't do anything. I got a job. I went into that job and was like, by the way, I wear an ankle monitor.
Yeah.
Hi.
Got to be up front.
Do you want to hire me?
Right.
I'm going to be really good employee because I'm not allowed to call off. I did AA like they said. I got sponsors like they said. I did not complete my steps that time. That's important. That's an important nugget there. And it went on for so long, and I just got mad. Like, I was just so sick of it. And I just want a life back. And I did everything right.
So that threw you into using again?
No.
No?
No. I stayed clean and sober for a while. I wanted to prove to my dad that I could. He was humiliated when I got
He was
arrested.
probably shocked because you hid it from him so well,
He was
didn't
humiliated. Yeah.
you? Wow.
It was awful.
Was that the worst part of it for you?
Yes.
What it did to your dad?
Yes. And then I was sober and I was sober and I was sober and I'm starting to get aggravated, but I'm still trying to believe everything they say in AA. And then,
Are you bartending at this point?
oh yeah, bartending
Because
was
that's
interesting.
like putting somebody that's diabetic to go work in a bakery every
Everyone
day.
always said that, but for me, bartending was always money.
Okay, you looked at it differently.
That's not a place.
Touching that alcohol all
That's
the time.
quick money.
It
That's
did
quick
not
money. Quick
tempt
money.
you.
Never.
Huh. Okay.
Never.
That's
That's not how
interesting.
I drank.
That's it. Okay.
Now,
Wasn't doing the fruity
if-
drinks with a lime twist.
that's not how I drank. Okay, I ain't drinking
right.
martinis. That's not how I drank.
Right, I gotcha.
Not this fine dining stuff. And then, like I said, I made amends with my first husband, and
Was that part of your AA, like your therapy?
No,
or
he
not
contacted
therapy,
me.
But, oh, okay.
and then it just yeah.
Okay.
And then he passed away on my birthday when I was sober.
Oh,
And I would say that was the beginning of the end.
oh.
Like to just sit there and be sober.
And he passes away on your birthday.
Yeah.
Is that what triggered you?
Um,
Are you gonna cry? I'm
not right
sorry.
away. No.
Oh, I should have brought the tissues. I
No.
usually have a box of tissues here.
No, not right away. I didn't drink for a long time, but it made me angry. And it made me feel dumb. Like, why am I doing all this? This is so stupid. This is so stupid.
What
Everybody's so
was
stupid.
stupid? Your
Everything.
emotions?
No, like then I was just like, why am I doing all this? Like this means nothing. I just felt like when that happened, I felt nothing. Like at all for a really long time. And
I'm sorry.
no, that's okay. It's okay. Because obviously you can see now I feel it. But so that was in April of 2007 and I drank in August. Yeah.
Why do you think it didn't trigger you to drink right away and you lasted from April to August?
Well, I was dating this really nice kid in AA.
Oh, okay.
And that was awful. You know, I just, that poor kid just went off by the wayside because I just couldn't.
Deal with your feelings
this
for,
was a
yeah.
maniac. It was a crazy person thinking, lashing out for no reason. I gotta go. I'm gonna throw up.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and then it was August. Like I was hanging out with people. I was doing really good at my, I was helping my dad out. My dad owned a bar and this DJ that worked for my dad asked me to go to a wedding and just help. Like, he's like, it'll be fun. Let's just go. And I remember him being like, just have a drink. Like, what's one drink?
Oh, no.
I don't even remember being there. Like, I don't even remember being there.
You don't even remember
No, like I
being
see
there?
the guy to this day and he looks scared of me. Like, and I don't remember being there.
Who knows what you did?
I probably fought him. And then I was no longer sober.
Oh.
So 2007.
So it took one drink.
Yeah, and then like I said, I didn't remember what happened there. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to drink normally. So
I can drink normally.
and
It's
would.
okay. Yeah.
And then but it wasn't a test of the drinking at that time. What it was, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm drinking and I'm not buying crack rocks.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yay, this is great.
I gotcha.
This is how people drink.
See your rationalization?
Oh my gosh, 100%.
Look,
And
I can drink and not go buy hardcore drugs.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God.
I'm a hero.
Like, and I remember calling my friend and being like, still no buying of crack, and
I must be cured.
yeah,
Great. Yeah.
But then like things would creep up and people would be like, I'd be like, hi. And people would go like this. And I remember I had this friend, Vaughn, and I'd be like, what is this problem? And he'd be like, you don't remember? And I'd be like, what? Remember what? All we did last night was get pizza at happy hour. And he'd be like, no, that is not. Right. So then the progression came. So no drugs.
Right.
Alcohol. And then this.
Didn't your mother creep into your head throughout all of this? You watched her be an alcoholic.
No, I was angry at her at that time. Still angry.
Okay.
So then I was like, just out here getting her done. And then this guy, okay. So the night I left my first husband, okay, I met this guy and he had left his wife and we had this like fling.
Okay.
Okay.
But why would you leave your first husband? You were so in love with him. Why did you do this?
Oh, it was
He was doing things.
we just,
How should we keep this like low key? He was doing things that you didn't like.
We were
and
no
you,
longer getting along.
Okay. You were no longer
Yeah,
getting
we
along.
were no longer getting along.
And you, again, looked for love in a different pair of pants.
And I like.
Is that safe to say?
And I will say this. Here's what I wanted. Here's what I wanted when I left my ex-husband. I wanted him to chase me.
Oh, you wanted to hurt him and you wanted him to chase you,
I wanted
right?
him to come get me.
Yes.
That's all I wanted.
Because in your mind, that was love. Well, if he chases me, it's love.
Yeah. So, well, he didn't come. And I met this guy. Okay, so then, whatever. This happens. Fast forward. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking now that I'm drinking. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. That's the guy I've always loved.
Oh, yeah.
He's back. This
Right.
is a sign.
Yeah.
He's a full-blown alcoholic.
Oh.
And I'm like, guess what? I drink now.
Oh, well, but I can control it. Yeah.
So guess what?
Oh, no.
Moved right on in. So moved
How
right
long
in.
were you in that relationship?
Oh my gosh. I had myself completely convinced that this was okay. So let me think.
So like 3 years you were in this, you you guys were just partying it up, both alcoholics.
Completely. He wrecked my car. I was thrown from it. Listen to this. Thrown on the highway, broken collarbone. Nobody knows how I survived. I was ejected out of this Jeep onto
I'm sure he
the
was drinking.
highway.
Correct? Drinking and driving?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how old were you at this point?
Yeah, 35-ish.
And does your dad know that you're still on
that I'm
this
drinking,
destructive
that I'm
path?
Yeah, but this guy is like a good guy. He comes from a good family.
Oh, he looked good on the outside.
He looked great.
Oh, yeah. But
Business
nobody
owner.
knew.
Great guy. Everybody loves him.
Okay.
Everybody
gotcha,
loves him.
Gotcha.
Everybody. He and I get in a fight while we're driving. I probably punched him in the face or
Oh my
something.
gosh.
So he drove off into the median right there by the Fairfield exit. The Jeep flips. It's like my dream car, by the way. Listen to this. On that exit, my second, God love him, Las Vegas ex-husband is working on his bike. Hears it on the scanner in this bike garage.
You're kidding.
Drives up onto the highway, runs onto the highway, grabs me, picks me up,
No.
and takes me to the emergency room. On my life, for maybe 14
But
seconds.
he just left your boyfriend there.
Heck yeah, he did. 14 seconds, maybe. And I'm like, I'm good. And I'm like, where have you been? Where have you been? I have no idea. And he's like, are you okay? You don't look good at all. Like, are you good?
Do you realize how many angels God has sent you?
I have thanked him every day since. You have no.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Every day since. Every day I've thanked him for saving my life because he's done it my entire adult life.
Boy, you've been given a lot of grace, girlfriend.
Yes, you have no idea. And I will say that. I feel like my relationship with him is something that no one will ever understand. I get it and he gets it.
Yeah, because we should say now you're so faithful.
100%.
Yes. And
100%.
would you consider yourself born again, even though I don't like to put
consider
labels
myself,
on
what I
people.
think is my relationship with him is mine. But I'm kind of like one of those, like those people that watch football games and they're like, I have to have my special jersey.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can't tie my laces and you can't sit there and this like that.
Yeah.
I have these little things in place. When I talk to you, it will be on my knees.
Mm-hmm. Certain rituals.
I do not miss.
Mm-hmm.
I do not miss.
I know you don't.
I will miss church,
Mm-hmm.
sure, because that's for everyone else to see me pray.
Right.
But my thing with him, that's my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and it's not much. Yeah. But
and not to get all spiritual.
Yeah, but that's good.
I'm not religious, but
Yeah, you're spiritual.
I believe in the Bible and that's it.
For sure.
And not
That's it.
Indoctrination. But God will allow so many things in our life to happen because he only has one goal, and that is to bring you to him.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, well, why is God making this happen? Well, first of all, God doesn't make it happen. He allows it to happen. He allows darkness to happen so his light can be.
Of course.
Okay. And he will not stop allowing darkness to attack you until you go to him.
Right.
That's all there is to it. That's
Right.
all there is to it.
Yeah.
And now he has you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, so here a second.
So after that accident,
Vegas husband saves my life.
Vegas husband.
Saves
Wait
my
a
life.
minute. The made-for-TV movie, I think
Saves
that
my
should be Vegas husband. I think that
Saves my life.
the name of it.
Literally, this guy, he cannot get rid of me. Okay. And let me just say this. This lovely person wanted to marry a girl and had to call me and was like, hey, we're still married.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I had to call Mikey, get this quick divorce on like the side of the road. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm telling you, this guy, God, oh my God. I hope he never sees me again. I'm like the worst thing that ever happened to him. But anyway, yeah, saves my life. So this idiot.
Yeah, do you ever go back to the alcoholic? Oh, you went back to the alcoholic that almost killed you in a car accident.
Yeah, because I knew he was going to go to jail.
Well, what would him going to jail? What you felt bad for him? What? I don't understand why you went back to him.
Because I had a house, a safe place to live, and I could drink without him.
Oh, gotcha. Because he'd be in jail.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, so you got the house, free alcohol, and you don't have to deal with him.
Correct.
Okay, I get
Perfect.
it. I see the way your brain's working at this point. Okay.
Yeah. And I liked my dog.
I liked my dog.
Yeah. And then that worked until it didn't. And then was he in jail?
God, you're like a cat. You have 9 lives.
I got sober while he was in jail. I got sober on Memorial Day.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Why and how?
Okay. Drinking all night long. Drinking crazy. And I'm like, long weekend, perfect. Drinking, still drinking. It's like Monday afternoon, I'm still drinking. Something happened, like a song came on and I called my brother. And I was like, oh my God, our song's on.
And we should say your brother at this point was sober.
Sober.
And he's watching you spiral.
And he's like, what song? And, you know.
Oh, don't say Gloria.
No.
Okay.
He's just keeping me on the line. I'm like, do you remember? And he's like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at my house. And he goes, okay, coming over. And I said, what? And he's like, you know what you need to do. And I was like, I'm not going back to AA. Are you out of your my brother? I'm not doing it here on your podcast, but I've since I was little, one of the counselors thought it would be a good idea to always let me express, so I've always
sworn.
Yeah. Okay. So
I can edit out. It's
Are you kidding me? Blah. All right. I call him back 2 hours later. Make him leave. You tell Dad, if he brings over a bottle of Riesling, I will go with you to wherever you want to go. Where do you want to go?
You're bribing your family to take you to rehab with a bottle of wine.
Yeah. I'll go where you want me to go.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
So here's me. Where are we going?
You wanted one last.
Yeah. What meeting? What meeting? Because I know my brother's going to take me to a meeting. My brother is huge in AA. He believes in AA. He is.
It's helped a lot of people.
He is the message. Mm-hmm. So I know we're going to go to a meeting, so I'm not worried about it. I can be drunk at a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Who cares?
All righty then.
So he comes over, right?
Brings the wine. We need to do this weekly.
Brings the wine.
Brings the wine.
Absolutely. Brings the wine. Go ahead, drink it. I said, I don't want to drink in front of you. Like, I do have some moral scruples and principles. He goes, just get in the truck. Let's go for a drive. He drove to Williamsport Hospital. He said, my sister is a danger to herself.
Oh, no. He pulled that card.
He pulled the card. And I went like this.
That'll get you put in real fast.
In
the straight jacket.
Did
they put you in? Or cuffs?
Oh, no, they put me in cuffs on the bed. And I'm like, you better call.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm screaming for my priest, and I'm screaming for my lawyer, and I'm screaming at my brother, and he left.
No.
And then everything went out. They gave me something. And then I woke up the next day, and I'm like, hi. And the lady's like, hello. And I was like, oh, okay, I was an a-hole here. Ooh. Perfect. Yeah, my blood alcohol level was 3.9. I was just functioning on 3.9 all day long. I'd already driven to my counselors.
Elisa, most of what you've done would have put a person with normal DNA under. I'm not. Yeah. I would be
and my
dead.
German Shepherd
I would be dead.
Drove to my counselors to let him know, hey, I've been lying to you for 14 months. By the way, I drink. Just drove our happy butts up there to the
I don't even know why I have these questions.
Yeah, we went up there and told him. Yeah, drunk, no shoes. Yeah.
Okay, then.
Mm-hmm. And then you would think that was it, right?
I would, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I would have thought several points along the way would have been it.
Remember, this is a long weekend.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Saturday night, I'm sober. I'm home.
Okay.
My brother said, you no longer work at the Herdick House.
Oh.
I said, what did I do there? He goes, nothing, you're done. You can't work there. I said, okay. He goes, there's no
So there goes your
income.
but there goes your pride about
clout.
I can work
Anywhere.
and still
Gone.
drink. I'm fine.
Gone. Took the job away. Told him the truth. Told him all.
Well, now you're starting to lose your money.
My money's gone.
Yeah.
He said,
Because of
everything
it.
you need is here. I got you groceries. I got the dog food. Gave the dog a bath.
God love him.
Said, okay. He goes, and you're coming to my house tomorrow for a picnic. I did. I think I had a little bit of withdrawal. I was shaking. I felt like the guy at Sam's Club was staring at me.
You
was
were paranoid.
Angry. Yeah. So Sunday,
Angry. Okay.
went to my brother's. I mean, like my nieces and him are playing rock band, and I want to rip my skin off. And I went back to my house. Oh, yeah.
You probably just wanted to grab a drink.
Yeah. So I did.
No.
Yes. I drove right to Little Plaza.
Oh my God.
Bought a bottle, ran home, drank it as fast as I could. Woke up the next morning, and there it was. Guilt, shame, and remorse like I had never felt. And
Okay, stop. Because I use these as teaching moments here. If somebody's listening and their loved one, married, daughter, son, sibling, parent, whatever, is an alcoholic, tell the truth. Can you ever save somebody? Or does that, now, not that you shouldn't stop trying because your brother kept trying, but that person has to hit rock bottom, do they not?
You have to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
And that weekend for me was rock bottom.
Okay.
The other thing, there had been times when I always met my dad for church at 8 a.m. I loved my priest. I obsessed with him. Like, he passed. And I remember the one day I couldn't stop shaking to go. So I drank real quick before I went. I've never been more embarrassed of anything in my life. Ever to this day. And like, he walked down and he grabbed my arm and he like knew, and he was like, "You're okay."
Oh God. I knew him. He was amazing.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, and I did make an amends to him. Like, for that horrible day. But this is all happening at the same time. So then Memorial Day, I knew there was a meeting at Trinity, and I was like, going out, nothing else to do.
I know. My stupid brother.
Driving there, get a speeding ticket.
Oh.
I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Really?
you know why, don't you?
Right.
Do you know why spiritually that happened?
I don't. Why?
Because
Never
they
understood
always,
it.
Because they always, here's a saying that's non-spiritual. Whenever you're close to breaking the sound barrier, the cockpit shakes the most.
Okay.
Spiritually, when the devil or the evil dark, feels its energy, feels you getting close to
good.
Yeah. Guess what? Everything will come against you.
Yeah.
You ask any follower of God, Jesus, whatever you want, they will tell you that happened to them too.
Wow.
When they were close to doing it, which you were, the devil will throw everything at you to try to stop you because he was losing his grip on you.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
were going to God.
Yeah. And I went, give me the ticket. I didn't even know how I was going to pay for the ticket. Just give me the ticket. Yes. Going to AA.
Yeah.
So get into AA, I announce, hi, my name is Elisa and I'm an alcoholic. I didn't even tell him. I didn't even have, maybe 4 hours. That was it. And
that was it.
And that was it.
That was it.
And that was it.
Memorial Day, what year?
2010. Because it's 13 years this year.
Okay, yeah. So this is what I find like super crazy.
Yeah.
And this is my question to everybody that's had a journey like yours.
Yeah.
Why, and you're not going to have an answer, it'll probably end up being a rhetorical question, but why was Memorial Day, that day, your rock bottom? And why wasn't it when you were ejected from a car and you're, and the person that you were in a 3-year relationship with was drinking and driving?
I have an answer.
I know. You do have an answer? Oh, good. Please enlighten me.
I wasn't done. That's why.
Okay, I don't like that answer.
I wasn't done.
That doesn't give me a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Well, that's the thing with drug addicts and alcoholics.
How does one know when they're done?
You know
You
when
just
you're done.
know.
You will have a moment of clarity.
Wow.
You will have a lot of moments of clarity when you use. Okay? You will have a lot of moments in clarity. I remember sitting on big drug street in the town we live. And I was sitting with my friend who always looked out for me. And this was pinnacle addiction. And I was in that said Jeep that what's his name ruined. And
what's his name? That's what we're calling him nowadays.
yeah, and this guy who always looked out for me, a drug dealer, but still not a good one.
Okay.
Oh my God, he'd rather go to a picnic.
Okay.
But he and I would always hang out. And he was like, you know what? Can I tell you something? What are you doing here?
Wow.
What are you doing here? You graduated from like Cumming College.
Yeah.
Why are you sitting here on the street? You make me so mad. Like, you make me so mad. Moment of clarity. Boom. Hurry up.
But
Hurry up.
it still wasn't rock bottom.
Yeah. Get me out. Get me drugs. Get that out of my head. Please. I think about it a lot.
I do like your answer.
Wasn't done.
You're done when you know you're done. But, the ambiguous nature of that answer drives me crazy.
Of course, because that's you.
I know. I want, but I just, when I can't figure something out, it will drive me crazy. Yeah. I will not sleep. I will go down rabbit holes. This is just an answer I'm never going to have, am I?
It's God's.
It's
God's will.
You just got it.
It's God's will.
And as I've been on my faith journey, I've been able to let go of having to know the answer.
Yeah.
Because now I'm where you are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you know what? Every soul comes to earth with a different journey.
Yep.
And God knew when you were going to be done.
He knew.
God knew with the day you were born, what you were going to go through, when you were going to be done.
Right. You're right.
And now he's got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up this segment, I'm going to stop and then restart and talk about health and wellness. I just want you to talk briefly about how instrumental finding God was in your journey, and how you're doing now with your present husband, and now that you're a mother of a daughter.
Yeah.
And for people listening that might be struggling with being in a domestic violence situation, or they themselves are addicted to a substance or alcohol, this is what's important to me. I really want you to give them hope.
Yeah.
That you can have healthy relationships.
100%.
And you can turn it all around.
100%.
And your past doesn't define your future.
No.
Okay.
No.
So how important was God in all of this for you?
Instrumental. I'm a big
Did that start
believer.
with AA?
No, it was firmed up. They just want you to believe in a higher power. Mine is God.
Okay.
Mine is God. I wanted to do this right. I found a sponsor. We have nothing in common. I said, listen, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to hang out. I don't want to have coffee. I want to do my steps in 6 months, and I don't want to drink ever again.
Oh.
She did believe in God, and she was faithful, and her husband was faith. They're like the AA police.
Okay, I like that. That's right.
And I knew I would do my steps quickly with her, and I did. And I got them done. I did my steps, and by the grace of God and only God, I am clean and sober. I did my 5th step with my priest. I told him every bad thing, and he forgave me. Like,
oh my gosh,
I feel grace a lot. I feel things happen. Like, I feel things when I'm alone.
Yeah. So you're more in tune to your spirituality.
100%. And it's very important.
You can hear God's voice more now.
And it's very important for me to spend time by myself in nature or alone. Is very important because I do. And like I said, I don't know what made me stay sober 13 years, but I do know that since night 1, I've been praying on my knees. So I do that. I do know that I don't let my gas tank get below a quarter of a tank. I do know that I just have these little tics, these little things.
Well, you have to have a ritual. You have to have
a ritual.
You have to have you can't recover and not have a self-care routine.
And there was a time I remember things started going well.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
And
Isn't that funny?
This is going to all...
What's that saying? The harder you work, the better luck you have.
This is all going to go.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ever happy. I was like, it's all going to go. This is all going to crumble. I just can't get too attached to any of this. It's all going to go away from me. And
what do you mean by it's all going to go away?
It was too good. Things were going good.
Oh, so then you were nervous when things started going well. Because you're like, no.
This isn't me.
This
isn't my life. This isn't
right.
I'm not built for that.
Do you think that's really common for people in recovery once things start going well for them?
I wonder.
They start to say, no, I don't deserve this.
No.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
This isn't how I live. I live in chaos.
Wow.
And then somebody said to me, maybe God thought you just had enough. And so I try to think about that a lot. So, because I'm still, things will never be that way again. I'm with, like, we're not married, but we might as well be. I've been with this guy since I was.
We might as well be husband and wife.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been dating him for 3 months. We find out I'm pregnant. All right, let's give it a go. And it worked.
And then here you are, how many years later?
Oh my gosh. Right.
Well, how old's Parker?
Parker is 11.
Okay,
So it's like 11 or 12 years later.
And
Parker's 10. Sorry.
And nobody has a perfect relationship.
No.
But everything is.
I adore him.
Everything's relative.
Yeah.
So in comparison.
Let me say this.
To what you used to.
He will never hurt me.
Right.
He will never physically touch me. He does not say mean things. He understands he lets me be who I turned into.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
He's great.
And I love that you said that, because when you're in a marriage, you have to let the other person be who they are.
Yeah.
If you're in a marriage to change someone, it's not healthy.
No.
And you already got you were clean and sober when you met him.
Mm-hmm.
So you were ready for a healthy relationship.
I was ready. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was a while. It was like I think I had 2 years sober when he and I started dating. So he's
Do you
good.
still struggle today with those voices coming into your head of you don't deserve this, or when's the other shoe going to drop? Or have you moved past that?
I was thinking about that when I got your questions, and I really think that left me. But then I thought it today because I'm like, well, maybe I should start thinking about it again. But I haven't. And
Good.
I don't know if it just went away. Like, but I pray it away too.
Right.
I do. And I
Right.
ask for clarity, and I
Mhm.
ask for resolution.
Mm-hmm.
I ask, and after I thank him, sometimes I ask.
Yes. And what I recently learned that I didn't know, because I'm still a baby in this spiritual journey as well. I went to a big conference, Gabriella and I, in Baltimore, and I learned how to pray differently.
Mm-hmm.
So her and I have been praying differently. And I was always thankful. Like, I always used gratitude.
Sure.
But then, like Gabriella even said, she goes, Mom, like, I'm always saying the same thing when I'm praying. And it's it just doesn't feel right. It's like not the same, please do this, please do that. So at this conference, they were like, stop the begging prayers and only pray with scripture. And I thought scripture was just to be read and then praying was separate. And I can't believe I've been on this earth this long and nobody put those two together for me.
I don't think I knew that either.
So now we've changed it, and they call it, it's not like New Age meditation. They call it prayer meditation.
Oh.
And they said what you do is like for Gabriella, for instance, if you're praying on health issues, you pick out the healing and the restoration Bible verses in the Bible. You pray on them and meditate on them. Close your eyes. Keep saying the verses over and over and over.
Wow.
Instead of saying, please God, heal my chronic illness.
Sure.
Instead, actually use the word. And then, you know what they told us to say after you did that meditation on the Bible verses?
No, it's interesting.
They said, that's when you say, God, I just read your word out loud. I read what you promised me as a child of God. Now, please show me.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that powerful? I will never pray the same again, ever.
Wow. I'm almost scared to say that prayer.
Well, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Because he wants you to use his word.
Oh,
I know, but he wants you to use his word.
Yeah.
Instead of begging, you're actually going, hey, this is in the Bible. Not that you're saying, like, prove it to me, but you kind of are.
Oh my God.
You're kind of saying,
yeah,
this is your word. Now, please show me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway. But so we're going to break there.
Okay.
And we're going to come back in a different segment, and we're going to talk about your success in your health and wellness career.
Cool.
But I do want, before we do that, so what is one piece of wisdom or advice that you would like Parker to know that your mother never told you, or nobody in your life ever told you, and all of your chaos that you lived in?
No matter what goes down, I'm your team. It's me. It's me.
So she'll always
you never have to worry. I did it.
And she'll always have you on her side.
Always.
And you love her unconditionally. Is
she knows
what you're saying?
Hold her face and tell her.
No matter what you do, I love you.
100%.